is more important than R itself, because R you can Google this thing and you get it, but you don't gain intuition by Googling. So let's take 5 minutes and let's argue whether a 10% increase in GDP year on year high or not. Any thoughts?
Sir, that depends upon the employment sector, income, and everything. Now, if this is high, then is income increased over in that sense?
See, okay. Now, this is a fair point. Let's put one more thing. GDP is growing at 8%. Real GDP is growing at 8%. Okay. The nominal GDP is growing at around what? 8 plus 7. That is 15%. 14-15% nominal GDP growth is there. Now tell me, is GST growth high or low?
It is low.
Is it okay? Anyone else? GST growth high है या low है?
High.
Vedant is saying high. Okay.
High.
Why are you saying why high?
Because real GDP growth is only 8%. In comparison to that, the GST growth is 10%. You said so.
Excellent. This is the conversation I wanted to have. This is an excellent point, Vedant. Now question is GST जो मिला, is it nominal or real?
It resembles to nominal. I think
It
resembles to nominal. It is
correct. So if nominal GDP is 14% and nominal GDP is 10%, तो आप नॉमिनल को कंपेयर करोगे या ऐसे कहोगे कि रियल जीडीपी 8% पे ग्रो हो रहा है, विच इज लोअर देन नॉमिनल जीएसटी.
we should compare real growth.
we should compare real, but जीएसटी तो नॉमिनल प्राइस पे होता है ना, तो वो तो नॉमिनल है. आप तो ऐसा नहीं कर सकते कि रियल जीएसटी कैलकुलेट करो. आपको तो नॉमिनल जीएसटी आप प्राइस ऑफ गुड देखते हो और उस प्राइस पे 10%, 18%, 28%, that is entirely nominal.
But real GDP shows actual growth in production, so
Correct.
we should compare that.
But are we looking at production at all? GST is a consumption variable. है ना? So now this is what we need to understand. Very good conversation to have. We are a country where the C plus I plus G जो है हमारा, more than 60% is coming out of consumption. Nominal GDP is growing at 14-15%. But अगर the main component consumption 14% पे nominal GDP बढ़ रहा है, 60% is coming from consumption, but the tax on consumption is increasing only by 10%. That shows that there is something wrong, right? Don't you think so? Something is wrong. Consumption बढ़ रहा है, लेकिन consumption के ऊपर का tax तो बढ़ नहीं रहा है. Consumption 14% से बढ़ रहा है, but tax 10% पे बढ़ रहा है. There is something wrong in this. Are you going to go and read about this? Anyone? Would you like to read about this?
Yes, sir, I will.
So go back, read. Next time let's continue this. Let's talk about economics also. ये तो आर चलता रहेगा. We'll do this data. We'll take NSS data also. Most whatever I know, we'll kind of cover that in our 4-5 lectures that we have. We'll take different kinds of data. ये हो जाएगा तो data frames में घुसेंगे तो we'll have to take actual data. We'll take inflation data. We'll take inflation का disaggregated data. We'll take NAS का data. We'll take NSS का data. बहुत, there's no shortage of data at all. We'll try to tell a story out of it. But the question is whether you'll think or not, right? So ये अभी मैंने आपको एक topic दिया है, and you're going to think about it, mull over these things, read what people are saying, etc., and you get back. ठीक है?
Yes, sir, definitely.
Okay, chalo, let's resume. All right. So the next topic is data structures. So do you know what kind of data structures R gives? R में फॉर एग्जाम्पल वेक्टर्स नाम की चीज होती है. इन वेक्टर्स के साथ साथ वी हैव मैट्रिसेस. ठीक है, मैट्रिसेस के साथ हमारे पास समथिंग कॉल्ड एज एरेज एंड समथिंग कॉल्ड एज लिस्ट्स and something called as data frame. Data frame is my personal favorite. Okay, this is something that we use every day, and we use matrices also every day, and we use lists also every day, and we use vectors also every day. We don't use arrays that much, but the rest of the four are very important. I mean, we matlab, I'll say I don't use much. Yeah, arrays hoga important. I'll just maybe we can think of where it is very important. Now let's look at vectors. I'll just get the vectors. Okay, all right. ठीक है. So suppose I say that there is a group, there's one column of data. Okay, let's think of it as a column of data. The column of data having 1 2 3 4 5 6 7 8 9 10 values. So it will look something like this. This is called a vector. It is a combination of few numbers. Okay, it is a combination, and combination करने के लिए there is a function called as C, which literally means combine. So you combine these 10 numbers and create a single object called as a vector. Okay, now I can also keep some text in it. For example, my, and second vector can be name, third can be is, and fourth can be care. Okay, there are 4 elements. Okay, the word is called elements. First element is my, second element is name, third element is, and fourth element is Kedar. Let's look at how it looks. Yeah. If I run this, then I look, ऐसे 4 elements अलग अलग से दिख रहे हैं. ठीक है. Now tell me one thing, what if I add numbers and texts? Can it add it? What do you think? What is your guess? If I say 1, and if I say 1 name and then 2 Kedar. So what do you think? Will it store or give it an error, or what will it be? Any opinion?
I guess it will give the value because we have defined numbers also as under C, and my name is Kedar under also C. So
ठीक.
it might give the value.
ठीक. You
It
think that
might give it as a list.
it will give a list? We are not jumping from vectors to this. Abhi, I think you are faster than my brain. You know, you are going at 100 kilometers per hour. I am mere 10 kilometers per hour. So abhi vectors में है. So let's see whether R gives an error. R does not give an error. It actually gave out all the objects. But do you see a peculiar thing in this? Anyone who can observe a peculiar thing?
There is an additional space.
Space.
Okay, space, but वो है, मतलब there is no other. I can see the space, but ऐसा कोई उसको अलग significance नहीं है. The peculiar thing is numbers don't have that double inverted commas.
Double colons for numbers 1 and 2.
So that means that in vectors either you can store as numbers, or you can store as text. You can't store separately. एक number है, एक text है, ऐसे अलग अलग नहीं करना है. So if R finds even one text, it stores all elements as text only. ठीक है. That's why 1 के भी बाजू में we have inverted commas. So number is also stored as a text only. Now, of course, numbers are called as numeric and text is called as character. Numeric vector, character vector. And when we give mix, that time this is still a character vector. Fine? Simple to understand?
Yes, sir.
Okay, good. Now, ये 1 2 3 4 5 6 7 8 9 10 लिखना is too much of a task. Not only this, if you want hundreds and thousands and lakhs, it's too much to type, and that's why R में you can use colon. ये colon. So if I just say 1 to 10, then we have a vector 1 to 10. And similarly, I can just be too smart and be like, okay, I'll just add some random zeros over here, and it will still give me this, all these numbers. Not only that, it will say that it has reached something called as a max print, and these many entries are just omitted, but they are stored. They are there, but I'm not going to show it in the console. So it's said that I've reached my limit of 1,000, and I'm not going to show you more than 1,000. The rest of them are I'm not displaying it. So a colon would essentially give you the entire sequence from 1 to 1 lakh, 1 to 2 lakh, whatever. Now the question is, can I start from a negative number and make this sequence still a positive number? The answer is yes, you can. For example, -3, -2, -1, 0, and 1 2 3 4 5. You can do that. Now the next question I asked, can I start from a higher number and go lower, lower, lower to a negative? You still can do that. And for example, this 5, 2, -3, and I can do 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, 0, -1, -2, -3. All right. Now, can I store this in a vector, in an object? I still can. For example, 1 to 100, I stored it in something called as X. And now I can see that X contains all values from 1 to 100. Okay. Now, last thing I tried to do, these are all simple things. Now I try to really be smart about this. I say that I start this sequence from 4.5 and I want to finish it at 25. What do you think will be the result of this? Will it be an error? Will it be something else? आप समझे ना? You want to start point आपने whole number नहीं रखा, आपने 4.5 रखा, and you say I want this number from 4.5 to 25. What do you think will be the
Sir,
number?
there are infinite numbers between 4.5 and 4.6. Therefore, it cannot accommodate it.
Okay, so you are Rishikesh Vedant.
Vedant.
Okay, Vedant. Rishikesh है ना एक नाम? Did I get it right?
Yes, sir.
Yes.
Yes. Okay.
Sir,
Okay.
it will be 4.5, then 5.5.
Correct. So this is the right answer. Probably she just ran it, or if she thought about it, it's just brilliant. Because what R will do is do 4.5, 5.5, 6.5 until 24.5, but 25 will never occur because 25 is not a possibility. Okay, it will increase by 1 again, 4.5, 5.5, 6.5 till 24.5, and then it will not reach 25. All right, so this is how this colon thing works. All right.
Matlab, if I put a colon, so the number will increase by 1 only.
Yes,
Okay.
it will increase by 1. And if you don't want to do that, there is another solution, and I'm going to come to that as well. ये colon वाला एक से बढ़ता है, but there is a way to maybe increase by 0.2 वगैरह.
Okay, sir.
Suppose I have a initial list of defaulters. I know that there are 45 people in the class, but 10 of them are not coming to class regularly. Okay, so they are not they're attending less than 90% of the lectures, and I keep all of them, the roll numbers of these people, in a vector. Can I do that? I can. Okay, so I will change the name to 90 default roll numbers 90. Okay, So I know that these guys are sitting for less than 90% of the lectures. Now I say कि 90 is too much. I mean too less. I want student to sit for more than 95 lectures. So I add another 5 people. Okay, another 5 people who sit for less than 95%. So ये 90% वाले सारे हो गए. Additionally 95 वाले भी हो गए. There are 5 more people. Out of these 3 का तो मेरे पास रोल नंबर है, पर 2 लोगों का मेरे पास रोल नंबर नहीं है. Okay, so NA is a numeric thing in R. It's a number, but R understands that it's a blank value. We don't know. All right, it's not NaN. It's not a number. It is just NA, which is a blank. Do you see the difference between the two? Yes, no, maybe.
Yes, yes.
Okay. So a blank is an NA. An error, NaN, means not a number. Those are different things. So I have added 5 people who have defaulted, and 2 of those I don't know the roll numbers of. And now what I want to do is, I want to create a third function, a third vector, which combines these, and also add a few more. Okay, I want to add all these and add a few more. And for that, I'm going to use the C function, combine. The first part of the C function would be again a C function along with these new people and these default roll numbers 90 and these default roll numbers 95. And if you do this and store it in a vector called as default roll numbers all, then it does run that way. And now we have all of the students together, which are 16, 17, 18, 19, 20 people. Do you understand what I did?
Yes, sir.
I took 3 vectors and I merged all 3 vectors together and stored it as one master vector. एक डेटा था, एक डेटा पीस था, दूसरा डेटा पीस था, तीसरा डेटा पीस था, तीनों जोड़ लिए, and now this is the big data piece. That is simply what I did, and for that I used the function called as combine, C. All right. Okay. Now last 2 functions I'm going to teach. Now I taught you combine function. Now I'm going to teach you what is a sequence function. The thing that I was saying कि 1 से बढ़ता है क्या? नहीं, अभी sequence function use करोगे तो आप कैसे भी increase कर सकते हो. Sequence का first I'm going to use a help function. Help अगर दबाओगे ना, तो now you see this popping up. See, this is a help. This is your lifesaver in R. It gives the entire documentation of every function that is there. SEQ function is named as sequence generation. What does it do? It generates regular sequences. What all goes in it? तो उसके अंदर ये arguments जाते हैं. पहला argument है from, दूसरा argument है to. Similarly, there is another argument called by and length out, and we are going to try all of these together. Sequence from 10. I want to start this sequence from 10 and it should reach to 100. Okay, but I don't want it to increase by 1. I want to increase it by 10. The difference should be 10. So हमारा 10, 20, 30, 40 till 100 होना चाहिए. And this is how we get it. It's very simple. Sequence from 10 to 100 by 10. Okay. Now I can do another way. I can say I want to start from 1850 to 2040, but I want just equal pieces, 5 pieces, equal distance ke 5 pieces. Okay, the resultant vector should have 5 elements and they should be equally distant from each other Start should be 1850, end should be 2040. Let's see how it comes. It comes at 1850, 1897.5, 1945, 1992.5, and 240. If you see the distances are equal, 1897.5 minus 1850, 47.5, 1947.5. क्या है ये? Sorry, 1945 minus 1897.5 is 47. So all the differences are 47.5. समझे?
Yes, sir.
Yes, sir.
Similarly, I can start my sequence from a higher number, 2040, end it at 1845 by minus 10. So it should reduce by 10. And it still gives you the result. Okay, so I'm just going to note functions that we learned till now. First, we learned the C, combine function. Second, we have learned the sequence function. Okay. The last I'm going to teach now is called the repeat function. As you would guess, it just repeats a number. For example, x is equal to 5 and times, how many times do you want to repeat? I want to repeat it 4 times. 5, 5, 5, 5. Alright. Similarly, I can say x is 1, 2 and 3 and I want to repeat it twice. So क्या result होगा? What do you think? It will be 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3. 1, 2, 3 दो बार आएगा. See? So it's very flexible. आप कुछ भी कर सकते हो इसके साथ. For example, I can use something called as each. Ki I want 1 to 3 and each should come 4 times. So 1, 1, 1, 1, 2, 2, 2, 2, 3, 3, 3, 3. Each should come 4 times. Easy है समझने के लिए? Or no?
Yes, sir, it is easy. We're actually doing it now, so it is taking time.
No, that's fine. I'll also send this across to you, so you can also try it after this. One by one, if you go through, you'll kind of understand. Now, I think I'll give you a minute to actually type this out if you want, and you can try these out. So we'll stop for 2 minutes. Just write it down if you want. Done?
Sir, in the 196th row,
196. Okay.
it is giving me a warning message saying that length out will be disregarded.
There are functions. So what happens is R also updates its function, so that's fine. That is fine. It doesn't just remove it. It keeps giving a warning that it is going to be depreciated. वो होता है, deprecated, I guess. So that's fine. You know what? Should I do one thing? आप क्यों टाइप कर रहे हो? I'll just send you this. Wait, on chat. Copy कर लो. Why put so much effort in this? I've sent it on the group. So just copy and paste it over there. Because now what I would suggest is spend some time on changing these numbers. See whether anything makes sense. Try to challenge it. Try to understand what are the limits of these functions. That would be more learning. ये copy करने में time बहुत जाता है. From the next time, I'll just copy these blocks and send it to you so that you can just try it out yourself.
Sir, you told to try na. So in this repeat ka last one na, if you are giving like if you are typing only one digit in every place, na it is giving the only digit you have typed in the console sector. Like
Which 211 में?
एक minute.
Just look at my screen.
Yes.
Guide me. Okay. I just keep one.
No, 1 minute. Yeah, 207.
207. Okay.
Yeah. So write 1111 in every this thing.
One and one. Like this.
Yes, sir.
मुझे तो नहीं आया कुछ error.
Yeah. So it is not giving error. I'm telling you, it is coming only 1 1. So if
You know
other
why?
numbers are there,
See, tell me one thing. You are using the sequence function. From is 1, 2 is 1, by is 1. So 1 आया. And how many times do you want that 1? Only once. That's why 1 आ रहा है. Try
okay.
5 over here. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 आ जाएगा. From and to है ना? From sequence
got it,
from and to. That's good, but this is what I am expecting actually. Each of you na, try to change these numbers. I'll keep sending you this so that we don't the copy is not productive at all. ये करो. Okay, should we move on or are you trying, everyone?
We can go further, I guess.
Okay, all right. Now, I'm going to send you the next block. just copy this block and paste it, and let's try doing this. But don't run before I run. Matlab, I'll just explain these things once and you can try it out later. So,
Okay, sir.
everyone else is paying attention, na? Ki so gaye sab log. Only
No, sir, we are here.
Yeah.
good. Okay. Okay. So now we create a vector and look at my screen. Okay. What I'm doing is I have 1 to 10 over here and I'm multiplying 3 to it. So now it is 3, 6, 9. So 3 ka table ho gaya. Okay. I'm multiplying 3 to each of these elements. So now how the vector looks like is 3, 6, 9, 12. All right. After this, I use a very powerful thing, which is the square bracket now. What square bracket does is, it accesses this vector. हमको पता है कि ये जो vector है ना, this is, I know that this vector is 3, 6, 9. What we'll do is, I will extract the third element. Tell me what the third element will be. 3, 6, and
9.
9.
9.
So let's see whether it actually gives you 9. And it does. It does. So I will get the the third element, which is 9. If I'm able to do this, I should also be able to get multiple such elements. So I'm going to take third, fourth, fifth, and sixth. I'm going to just put a colon because we've learned this colon now. ये square bracket use करके I want the third, fourth, fifth, and sixth element. Let's try whether it comes, and it does. Third, fourth, fifth, and sixth element. All right. So I get that also. Similarly, if I want randomly some values, I don't want in a sequence, I want some random values, then again I use this square bracket and then again combine. C function use karke, I want the sixth, then I want the third, then again I want the sixth, and then I want the first element. And it does it. 18 is the sixth element, then I take the third element, then again the sixth, and then the first, which is 3. Okay, so this is what we can do. This is the power. Just like positive numbers, I can also put negative numbers in it. But they are seen in a very different meaning. Negative matlab, I want all the numbers except for this element. The negative jiska number hoga, for the example, fourth element I don't want. I want every other element. Dekho, 3, 6, 9 and 12 nikal diya and directly 15, 18 ho gaya. Similarly, I can drop 4th to 6th by putting a negative sign. Okay, now you understand what this negative is. Now you spend a minute or two and try out, change the numbers and check whether it is coming correct or not. You're trying, right?
Yes, sir.
Yes, sir. Sir, in 232,
Okay.
if we are taking positive and negative, it is not coming. Like
Yes.
I am
If you-
mixed error in vectors. My -2:6. If I'm taking, the answer here is only zeros may be mixed with the negative subscript. So there is coming an error.
Correct. So if you look at line 234 on my screen, the comment says the same thing. Don't mix positive with negative subscripts. You can either
Yes.
include or you can exclude. You can't do both at the same time. And it makes sense. Just think. Because once you exclude, all the indexes change. You exclude the third, suppose, the vector का size reduced by 1. तो आपका सारा indexing change हो गया. For example, you have 10 values. You reduce 3. Okay, तो अभी 9 values बचा. It is no longer 10. So now R will be confused that whether I should use the old vector ki new vector values. So they say that either exclude or include in the same time. अगले line में you do it again. That is fine. Any other observations you can add? Should we move on?
Yes, sir.
Yes, sir. Yes.
Okay. ठीक है. So the last part, actually what I'll do is we'll not do matrices and arrays today. We'll jump to something more interesting later. But before that, last is the vector arithmetics. Share it over here also. See, I've shared it with you on the chat. Okay, let's see. I have a vector 1 to 10 and I'm going to add 3 to it. So you know how the addition will happen? It will add to each of these elements. For example, 3 plus 1, 3 plus 2, 3 plus 3 करके एक नया वेक्टर बनेगा. 4, 5, 6, 7, 8 till 13. Understood? Similarly, if you don't include the brackets, still it will do the same thing. Now, if you multiply, for example, 1 to 10 by 7, तो यही होगा 1 into 7, 2 into 7 till 70. 7 का table आ गया. Even if you divide the same thing, it will keep dividing each of the elements by 20. Now, what a smart person would do is say 2 raised to 1 to 10. So 2 raised to 1, 2 raised to 2, 2 raised to 3 till 2 raised to 10. तो ये हम कर सकते हैं ऐसा भी. See, 2, 4, 8, 16 till 1, 0, 2, 4. You can include a minus also in this. You can add 2, minus 3, 4 and 0. तो भी वो देगा. All right. Now suppose I have a vector called as -1, 0 and +1. And then I store it in x and I do x divided by x. So result देखो, -1 upon -1 is 1. 0 upon 0 is not a number. And 1 upon 1 is 1. So that is how each of the element is divided by each of the subsequent elements of the other vector. You get it?
Yes, sir.
Similarly, you can say that y is 4 times of x. So clearly you know that each of these elements are multiplied by 4. So 4 into -1 is -4. 0 se 0 rahega, and 4 into 1 is 1. So y will be -404. And you can multiply x and y element wise and it will give you the answers. You can also say y raised to x and all kinds of arithmetics you can do with vectors. Again, spend a minute or two in this, and if you have any doubt, let me know.
Sir, we can use decimal numbers also here.
Yes, try. Definitely we can. ठीक है, let's move on.
Yes, sir.
Okay, ठीक है. So now I'm going to jump to an interesting part. We'll do matrices and arrays next time. Okay, so let's jump to what is called as the inbuilt functions in R. Okay, so we have learned C and sequence. We are going to learn a lot more of these, and I'm going to send it to you. This makes your life very simple. See, I've sent all of them. Acha, ek second. On chat, there's a limit to how many I can send. Diff. So just take the copy these ones, and I'm sending the other section later in the next message. So I've sent you 3 in total, 3 messages in total. Just copy it into R. And before that, just concentrate on what I'm trying to show. So on my screen itself. So I have started with a vector 2, -3, 0, and 8. Okay, all right. Now if I use the function called sum, it will just add all these values, and the answer is 7. Okay, so this is the sum. I can also do some masti with this x itself. I can say x square ka sum nikalo, and yet it will do. For example, 77. It will square each of these values. So 2 square plus 3 square plus 0 square plus 8 square, and that number is 77. Now this, I can also calculate something called as a cumulative sum. You must have used this cumulative frequency quite a lot in statistics, and we can do that. So first will remain 2, second will be 2 plus minus 3, third will be 2 plus minus 3 plus 0, and fourth will be the sum of all. So 2 minus 1, 7. This is the cumulative sum. I can also calculate the product of all 4 by a function called as prod. So since there is a 0 in it, the product is equal to 0. I can also calculate a cumulative product. The first will be the number itself, second will be the first number into second number, third will be the first, second, and third ka product, etc. Then I can calculate the minimum. Minimum is -3. We know the vector is 2, 3 into -3, 0, 8. Similarly, maximum. Then cumulative minimum, cumulative maximum. Then a difference. So for the second minus first, third minus second, fourth minus third, etc. Okay. I can also calculate mean, median, variance, the standard deviation. There are two ways of calculating standard deviation. I can simply calculate the square root of variance, or I can use the function SD. So both will give us the same number. I can calculate the range. This is fine. Okay, so till this, just try out till range. Then we will start with bivariate. Till here it is univariate. We'll go to bivariate after that. Any observations? Should I move on to the second, to the multivariate thing?
Yes, sir.
Okay, all right. So now we had an x vector, and now we are going to add a y vector, and we can calculate a pairwise minimum, a pairwise maximum, variance of both, that is covariance of x and y, and the correlation between x and y. So this is all bivariate. Pairwise minimum, pairwise maximum, variance, covariance, and correlation. Now, if I can quickly take you through the variable transformation, I can essentially take a square root by taking the sqrt function. I can also take the absolute value, that is, you know what absolute is. Every negative is the negative is cancelled out. There's no direction, so every number as an absolute value. Then I can take the log to the base e. I can use log 10 to calculate the log to the base 10. Similarly, I can take any random log 2 I can use, vagara vagara. Then I can also take an exponential, that is raised to. Raised to ke liye we were till now using the caret function, but we can also use a function called as exp. So we get exponential x. Okay, e raised to x. We can also calculate factorial. Do you know factorial? What is factorial? Anyone? Anyone who knows factorial?
Yes, sir.
Okay. Only one.
Yes, sir.
You also.
Yes, sir.
Okay. So basically, you know that the number into the previous number into previous number till 1. So 5 minus 5 into 4 into 3 into 2 into 1 is 5 factorial. And similarly, so you can take the factorial for each of these values. So 1 factorial will be 1, 2 factorial will be 2, but then we'll have 3 ka factorial will be 3 into 2, 6, 4 ka factorial is 4 into 3 into 2 is 24, and so on. We can also do that NCR wala jo formula hota hai na, choose the combinations wala. We can use the choose function also, and you get 52C5 ka value we can calculate using choose function. Different kinds of functions are available for you. For rounding off, we have floor, that is the lower value of the decimal. Ceiling, which is the, so 21.1 ka floor hoga 21, 21.1 ka ceiling hoga 22. Similarly, we can truncate, just ignore all the decimals. We can also round off, that is anything below 0.5 to the previous, everything above 0.5 to the next integer. All sorts of things we can do. We can do reverse order of the, so if we have 1 2 3 4 4 as our vector, we can reverse it by saying 4 4 3 2 1. We can also take a unique value, that is, 4 is repeated twice, so we can just take the unique values. We can also sort it in the ascending order or descending order. So all of these things we can do in R. All right. So you know of a lot of functions, different functions that can be used. You can try them out. Now, I'm going to tell you something more interesting than that. You know how to use the existing functions, but you should be able to write your own functions as well. Correct? So suppose we want a function that calculates the cube of every input number. Okay, so suppose we write a cube function, which is a function which takes the value, any value, suppose initial. Suppose initial is a number called 5. In this function, what we tell this function to do is take, suppose cube is equal to, suppose we just simply say initial raised to 3. And return, we can just do this. cube of 5. See, do you see it? Acha, are you following me? We have written a function which takes a value initial, and what it does is उस initial को raise to 3 करता है. This is a function, simple function. It's named cube. तो cube को के bracket में if we write 5, then we get 125, which is the cube of 5, right? Are you following me, or is it too fast?
I followed, sir.
Anyone
Some part is followed.
Some part is followed. Anyone who is finding it fast? बाकी लोग तो सो गए बाबा. See, if the next lecture, I think you should pray to God for the all other people who have not paying attention. You should pray to God कि अगला lecture भी work from home हो. Because if it comes to class, then I'll be able to see कि आपने तो पिछली बार ध्यान ही नहीं दिया था. Anyway, ठीक ही है. What we are trying to do is we are trying to create a function for ourselves, and we are naming that function as cube. Each function will have some input. The input is called initial. Okay. What ये जो भी number होगा ये हम input डालेंगे, as users will put it. इस number को लेकर उसका cube calculate करेगा. So raised to 3. Okay. So whenever we want to find it, we use the function cube and we give the initial value, which is 5. 125. We can do something like 10, you get 1,000. Something like a 7 will give you 343, and etc. Okay. Write a function will take कौन सा फॉर्मूला यूज कर सकते हैं? सिंपल कोई फॉर्मूला है क्या? For now, till I remember something, values for speed and distance and return time. Can you attempt this exercise? Write a function that takes values of speed and distance and returns time. Please attempt this. Gaurav, this is correct, but what we want to do is we have to write a new function that will take values of speed and distance and return time. What you have written is correct only. Achha, who maintains the attendance?
Sir, for online, we don't know. Like, not yet. Haven't
Don't do
gone through
attendance.
attendance for online, yes.
तो why are these people sitting? मैं तो पीछे नहीं पड़ा तुम्हारे, कोई देख भी नहीं रहा है. Why are you just sitting and not speaking also? You don't need to sit if you're not interested. I'm not going to force you to sit in class. I'm taking names, they're not responding also. Okay, Aditi. There's one response. Is Rachel here? She was speaking earlier, but now probably she's gone.
Yes.
You're here? Wow.
Yes.
Great. Congrats. I'm just thinking nobody's responding. क्या है मतलब? चलो Rachel, try this. Did you understand the functions?
Yes, sir.
चलो try करो ये. I am giving you the job of sharing screen and showing us the correct answer. Rachel is going to teach us. Mr. Sharad. Okay, Sharad, you have a problem with mic. Okay. Can you hear us?
Sir, I could do this much.
Okay. So you have speed and distance. Okay. Then what we want to do is calculate time. So what is the formula for time?
Distance
नहीं,
upon
share करो. Let's do it together. See, there is no issue in not knowing. My only concern is कि we should be attentive, and you are, but I have no way to find out now whether you are attentive or not. You share your screen and let's solve it together. Correct, Sharad. Sorry if you felt I'm targeting you. I'm not. I'm just trying to understand if everyone is paying attention or not. Okay. So then what do you want to do? You essentially want to find out time. What is the formula for time? Do you remember?
distance by speed.
Correct. So write it in the curly bracket. Inside the curly bracket, just press enter on line 59. Enter दबाओ. हाँ. लिखो distance upon speed. Okay, now run the function 59 onwards. पूरा तीनों लाइन closing bracket है ना. Okay, all right. Now go down outside the enter दबाओ दो बार. Now write time and into bracket write speed कितना चाहिए, कितने स्पीड से आप चलाते हो गाड़ी? 60 करो. And how much distance do you like to travel every day?
25.
25 किलोमीटर. ओके, तो कॉमा करके 25 कर दो एंड रन दिस. अरे क्यों नहीं हुआ? Okay, do one thing. Go on the console and press escape. कंसोल नीचे वो है ना पॉइंट. हाँ, just press escape.
Okay.
Now run from 59 pura again. I think that there was some issue with the brackets. That's why. Run.
Okay.
See, this means that you have to travel. If you want to travel at 60 kilometers per hour for 25 kilometers, you have to travel for 0.4 hours. Okay, that is the function that you have created. Is it clear?
Yes, sir. Thank you.
So basically, in the curly brackets, we write the formula.
Correct.
पहले फर्स्ट वी गिव द वैल्यूज फंक्शन के साइड में कि मैं कैसा आंसर में दूंगी, मुझे वैल्यू कैसे फाइंड करना है वो. देन
Correct.
कर्ली ब्रैकेट्स में मैं फॉर्मूला डालूंगी.
करेक्ट.
दैट्स इट. और फिर नीचे सॉल्यूशन.
बहुत ही सिंपल चीज है. एंड द थिंग दैट गोज इनटू द राउंड ब्रैकेट, दैट इज स्पीड और डिस्टेंस अभी लिखा है ना, दैट इज कॉल्ड एज द पैरामीटर्स ऑफ द फंक्शन. वी हैव यूज्ड दिस वर्ड अ लॉट ऑफ टाइम्स एक्चुअली. मास्टर्स में भी आपने बोला होगा
Yes.
पैरामीटर क्या है, कोएफिशिएंट का पैरामीटर क्या है. दीज आर द पैरामीटर्स ऑफ द फंक्शन. आप जब रिग्रेशन करते हो तभी बीटा इज द पैरामीटर. सो बीटा इज गेटिंग
Estimated,
there are
yes.
some parameters that are being calculated. Beta is the parameter and the y hat is the outcome.
Correct.
Right? The
Yes.
forecasted y is the outcome. So आपके parameters है speed or distance and your outcome is time, that is
Time.
distance upon speed. It is very very clear, transparent, simple things.
Yes sir, understood.
Okay. Do you अच्छा, can you think of a function, a complex function? थोड़ा दिमाग लगा के ना, think of a very complex thing and I'll share my screen and let's solve it together. If you want, if you can think. A very complex function. Okay, let's think of this. Suppose we have incomes of people. Okay, we have incomes of people. What we want to do is we want to find the poverty rate. Can we do that? Okay, so we
If
say
we have incomes, we can.
we can. Okay, so let's write a function to calculate the poverty rate. So suppose income is 200 and this is monthly. Okay, so this is daily. Daily 200 रुपया, 100 रुपया, 50 रुपया, 1000 रुपया, 5000 रुपया. So there's someone very very rich who is earning 1 lakh rupees daily, and there's someone who is not earning at all, वो बिल्कुल ही zero है, maybe a student, and then there is someone जो 500 रुपया कमा रहा है, someone जो बहुत मेहनत कर रहा है but is just getting suppose 50 rupees, हो गया 70 rupees. So we have a wide range of people. This is the income. ये हम लोग क्या कर दिए? Why is this like this? Options, digits, why is it like this? Okay, never mind. So we have all the incomes with us. Now the question is, we want to write a function called as poverty function, which is a function, and what goes in it is poverty rate या फिर minimum income. So you give the person a minimum income, then basis that he's going to understand incomes. Okay, suppose we simply say incomes less than minimum income. So, suppose we say minimum income is, now I'm showing you how a function is created. Minimum income, suppose we start saying that minimum income is 50 rupees. Then let's look at how many people have incomes less than minimum. ये ट्रू फॉल्स आ गया इधर. ठीक है, can you see it?
Yes sir.
Okay, so out of this how many are true?
1.
So you know something, and this is something I was going to deal with later, but as we do such activities we learn, R stores false as 0 and true as 1. So if I just do sum of this, I get 1 because there's one person who's poor.
Sir, I am not getting this. The function
Okay.
console is
And
not running, I guess.
console, are you looking at my console or are you typing?
No, typing. Like, I'm
Abhi type
typing.
mat karo. What we are trying to do is we are trying to build a function together. So just look at my screen right now. Don't type because then it will be confusing. I'm trying to tell you how a function is created. Okay.
Okay.
So I'll
Yes.
just look at my screen right now. So incomes are given. We have incomes of people. From somehow we've collected this data. And we say that the poverty rate, if any person who has income less than 50 rupees is poor. So we say minimum income is equal to 50. Okay. Now we try to find out how many people are actually getting below the minimum income. So simply I took incomes, which is the vector, and the minimum income, which is 50 rupees. When I ran it, what I found is R gives me that first person is not poor, second is not poor, and this guy is the only person who is poor. Can you see it? Okay. Now let's think of it from how R thinks about it. You know that every system just functions on 0 and 1s. For R, true is 1 and false is 0. Okay, so this is 0, this is 0, this is 0, this is 0, and this is 1, and the rest of it is 0. So if I sum all of them up, I actually know how many trues are there. Because this is 1, then if this was true, then this was also 1. So that's why I just did sum of this, and I find out that the value is 1. There is one person who is poor. Okay. Is it fast, slow, vague, difficult, easy?
Can understand. Yes.
But what do you want to find? You want to find the poverty rate. So we know that there is 1% poor, but among how many people? So to get that, there is another function. It's called a length function. L-E-N. Length. Length किसका चाहिए? Income का चाहिए. कितने लोगों का income है? This gives us how many people are there. There are 9 people. See, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. Understood? So we have total number of poor and we have total number of people. So we have the poverty function ready. Now what we do is poverty function, if minimum income was 50, the poverty rate is 11%. If it was 100 rupees, it's 33%. If it is 200 rupees, it is 44%. Okay, understandable or difficult comprehend करने के लिए?
Understandable.
है ना, logically बहुत easy है, मतलब ऐसा कोई difficulty नहीं है इसमें. Anyone who, only thing is I use some functions which you did not know immediately. That's why that could be the challenge. But otherwise, logically, it is very simple. You have a minimum income. You can change that minimum income and you get the poverty rate. So that is the dream, right? That is the dream of an economist. You should be able to calculate anything based on just one input number. And we can do it by making a function. क्या लगता है?
So we can find the maximum and then the reverse of it, right?
Maximum किस चीज का?
Maximum income. So that how much people are above poverty line. Yeah, in that indices we can figure out, right?
Yes, so you are saying that you, in any of this, you would like to start from the maximum income and then you say that, okay, what is the distance of each person from the maximum? Is that what you're saying?
Yes, the gap between the maximum and the minimum.
Chalo,
The difference.
Like calculating the Palmer ratio, we can calculate the Palmer ratio using.
Chalo, let's do the Palmer ratio. Just you have to help me with what that is.
Okay, sir.
बताओ Palmer ratio क्या है?
Is the top wealth share of the top 10% of the population, richest top 10, divided by the bottom 40% of the population.
Yes, like above poverty line, major 10 and then below 40. Yes.
40%. Perfect. Perfection. यही करते हैं. This is amazing. So let's look at this. Now, okay. Now, what do we want here? This is a parameterless function. क्या करेंगे? Palmer ratio. We want. Okay, got it. What we want to do is simple. We'll do an advanced. This is advanced Palmer ratio. We say that is the top percent and then bottom percent. We will not keep this 10% and 40% as constant. We will tell the person to decide कि आपको top 10 लेना है, top 1 लेना है, top 50 लेना है. Okay, we keep it open. Now, what is the top percentile? That is the question. So let's for now, for the building basis, we say that top percent is 10. Okay, 10 मतलब 0.1, 10% है, and bottom work is 0.4. Correct? Bottom. Now, what you have to do, I know the answer actually, but I'm going to, since you came with a difficult question, I want you to Google now and tell me what is the function that is used to find out percentiles.
Quantile?
Correct. Quantile. Correct. Very good. Quantile. So quantile किस चीज का चाहिए हमको? Now you have to be more participant. Income. Perfect. Income. Correct. But first we'll use help quantile. Let's look what this is. You find sample quantiles. What do you? So x is the numeric vector that goes into it. तो हमने वो incomes डाल दिया. That is fine.
Yes.
You also want to find out the probabilities. The probabilities will essentially give us that, मतलब आपको 10% होगा तो ये probs equal to
0.1.
So let's start. So हमारा होगा high is equal to quantile 0.1. नहीं.
High income का 10%.
High income 10%.
Which is 0.9, right? ऊपर का 10%.
This is confusing. ये ऐसा कैसे ऊपर का 10?
ऊपर
0.1 is 10, right?
What is okay? Let's think of पूरा distribution है आपके पास.
हाँ.
Median is the middle.
हाँ.
आपको bottom 40 चाहिए.
हाँ.
Top 10 का मतलब क्या? 90th to 100th.
90 to 100. Correct.
Correct. So high के लिए 0.9 डाल दिया. So हो गया top 10%.
Okay, ये percentile है. Okay.
ये percentile है.
ये percentile है. Okay.
That is what wealth share of top 10%.
Correct.
Is essentially the income level. अच्छा, you are saying top 10 का wealth share चाहिए.
नहीं ये correct है. 10% percentile ही आता है.
The richest 10 to bottom poor 40. The ratio is that.
हाँ, तो richest का wealth share चाहिए ना, थोड़ा change करना पड़ेगा. My understanding was
Richest का wealth share.
Okay, let's change this. Okay, नहीं quantile function use करना पड़ेगा. This is good. What we want to do is ये हमारे पास 9 observations है ना. So
हाँ.
ये 9 observations में से we want the person who is at the 90th percentile. उसका income उठाएंगे, उसका income at the
Yes.
correct. Got it. So let's do that. हाँ यही चाहिए actually. No difference. डिफिकल्ट वाला दे दिया आपने. ओके, क्वांटाइल ऑफ इनकम्स. इनकम हमको लेंथ ऑफ इनकम चाहिए. I'll tell you why. So हमारे पास हमारे पास 9 ऑब्जर्वेशंस है. लेट्स जस्ट इंक्रीज दिस यार. 9 is too less. Let's say 1 to 5,000. Okay, and man, just give me 1 second. Huh? Okay, अरे यार एब्सोल्यूट आई डोंट नो. ये अभी आप बोलोगे कि कॉम्प्लिकेटेड को और कॉम्प्लिकेट कर दिया. ठीक है. सो व्हाट आई डिड वाज आई टुक ऑल नंबर्स फ्रॉम 1 to 5,000. ओके, और उसको एक रैंडम नंबर से मल्टीप्लाई किया सो दैट वी डोंट हैव कंट्रोल ओवर दैट नंबर. बट इफ यू नो दैट अ रैंडम डिस्ट्रीब्यूशन कैन बी नेगेटिव और पॉजिटिव,
हाँ.
that's why I just took the absolute of it. I took one random number. ये random number देखो कौन सा है. It's 0.08. So
Okay.
everything is multiplied by 0.08. Nothing special. It just looks like incomes now. ये change हो गया shit. कुछ अच्छा लगता है. हाँ, okay, this one. ठीक है. So you have 5,000 people का incomes now. Now what you want to do is कि length of incomes कितना है. We know that it is 5,000. We want the top 10%, right? Which is, let's look, which is 90th is 5,000. Okay. Oh, length of income. Wait. It's the income share of the top 10. I think we want to find basically the people who are in the top 10 percentile. So आपका okay, got it. I understood now. So we have 5,000 का. हाँ तो ओके ना. तो क्या इशू क्या है इसमें? नंबर ऑफ people count. Okay, you want to count the people which is from 90th percentile to 100%. So 0.9 multiplied by 5,000, which is 450 to 5,000. So count lower, people count upper. So this is 1. ठीक है. And 5,000 नहीं करेंगे. Let's make it a length of incomes. The moment you think this is going like bouncer जा रहा है, let me know. So you know that 4,500 से लेके 5,000th जो आदमी है, that is the top 10%.
Yes, sir.
Is it correct?
Yes.
Similarly, people count, rich people count. So we have two objects called as rich people count and lower and rich people count upper. Then we calculate sum of incomes. कितना है? From
4,500 to 5,000.
to हो गया. आ गया टोटल.
Yes.
Yes.
ठीक है.
Yes.
Yes.
तो टोटल income rich is basically this. But you would say कि ये भी बकवास है. We want the
Bottom.
you want the percentage share, na?
हाँ.
Percentage
It is
share.
the total income also. Total income is basically sum of incomes. ये है हमारा total income.
Yes.
Correct? Now,
Yes.
rich share. Rich share is equal to total income rich divided by total.
Total income.
क्यों नहीं हुआ भाई? Rich. Okay, चलो. For aesthetics purposes, let's multiply the 100 also. Where it looks like a 19%. Okay, 19% income is held by
Upper
top.
40%.
Similarly, we want to do it for lower 40%.
Lower 40%.
So let's do that. यही copy कर लेते हैं पूरा. We just want to repeat the same thing again. Poor people count is कितना from zero, zero of length to we want 0.4 of length. Correct?
%. Yes. Okay.
Is everyone with me? मुझे एक ही आवाज आ रहा है.
Yes, sir.
Okay, so let's see. The poor person starts from the 0th value to 2000th value, 40%. So total income poor. एक problem होगा, but let's put lower as 0 because there is no 0th value in a vector, na? So 1 to 2000. Now incomes again we want from lower to poor, rich, upper. आ गया 33,000 रुपया. Total income we already had, so poor share is equal to आ गया 16% is held by the poor, bottom 40%. Now what happens is, now this is something I was going to tell you later on. Now there are, earlier if you see, we just calculated this और उसमें से हो गया था, right? But now there are so many variables created. So we need to tell R what all things you want to be returned after the function is run. So we write return. We just want two things, right? नहीं, we want, अच्छा अभी तो ये calculate Palma ratio बचा है ना? Palma ratio is equal to poor share, नहीं, rich share upon poor share. So this is the Palma ratio 1.189. And then we tell R to actually return only the Palma ratio. बाकी सब हमको नहीं चाहिए बाहर. It's called a return function. Okay, let's try. Advanced Palma ratio. What is the top percent? Say 2%. Bottom say 5%. Oh. ये भी तो देखना पड़ेगा ना.
2% कैसे?
Top percent minus 100 minus top percent, correct?
हाँ, तब quantile है, correct.
And this is upper is basically, this will be 1. This is fine. Okay, this will be 1 because 100 चाहिए ना हमको, top 10%. So we'll get the lower to the upper. Similarly, over here, poor people lower will remain same. First से start करना है till this is just bottom. Is it clear? मैंने ऐसे क्यों किया? 100 minus ये क्यों किया और ये ऐसे क्यों रखा?
Yes, sir.
Yes, sir.
For all? Yeah. Okay. Okay, so let's try this out. Whether this, so we want top 2%, that is 0.02, and we want bottom 5%, so 0.05. Look. Why? Oh, क्यों नहीं आ रहा है? Okay, let's try this. Top work equal to 0.02. I mean, this is the fun part. I personally enjoy exactly this. Top work 2%.
So why you took here 100 minus top percent?
Because okay, I'll tell you, but I understood where the mistake was. Why I did that was, see, when top 10% चाहिए, तब we want 90th percentile to 100th percentile.
Yes.
Top 10 का मतलब 90th to 100 ना, तो 10 जब कोई डालता है तब 100 minus 10 is 90, तो 90 to 100 हो गया.
So why not for the poor we did the same?
क्योंकि काउंट नीचे से ही हुआ. बॉटम जब था, it started from 1, the first value, first person, which is the poorest person.
Okay. Got it.
Till 40th percent. Okay, so let's try this. So 0.02 था and bottom हम 40% लेते हैं, ठीक है? Let's try this. ये क्या कैलकुलेट हुआ? Okay. So you don't want to do 0.02, you have to put 2% सीधा. And bottom you want to put as 40 सीधा. Correct? So let's see this. This is 98. कुछ तो गड़बड़ हुआ ना. 5000. Okay, we have to divide by 100 again. See, now I have just got. Now you're going to say ये बहुत complicated हो गया, right? Yeah, now it is done. So what happened is, see, 100% है ना, and this is, so what is happening is when you multiply ना, since we are trying to calculate percentage, we have to divide it by 100 ना. Share calculate करना है. So 98 out of 100 चाहिए, but we have 5000. So 98 upon 100, which is 0.98 multiplied by 5000 will give you the 98th percentile. This was the mistake. Get it or not?
This part went bouncer.
हाँ थोड़ा
Bouncer गया? Okay, let's do it again. हाँ, हमको क्या करना है? Let's start with the beginning. We want to find the income of the top 10 percentile.
Yes.
अगर 5000 लोग हो, still we want to find the top 10% people.
हाँ.
It is not 90 to 100. It is 90th percent to 100th percent.
Correct.
Yes.
So 100th percent इधर है.
हाँ.
This is the top 2% जो हमको चाहिए था. दोनों मिक्स करके हमारे okay, if this was top percent was 10% equal to 10. So हमारा 100 minus 10 is 90.
हाँ.
इधर तक we are together.
Yes.
But we want to find it as a percentage of 5000.
हाँ 5000 total income.
Total जो है. So
Yes.
we want to basically उसको 100 से divide करना पड़ेगा. So we know that 0.9 multiplied by 5000. This is the 90th percentile. 4500.
Okay.
That is the point. That's why we are dividing by 100. अगर divide 100 से नहीं करते, तो see what would have happened. This looks like 4,50,000. But we don't have 4,50,000 observations. We just have 5,000 observations. So we divided by 100 and we calculate the share, which is 0.9, multiplied by the length, 5,000, which is 4,500. So now we know that the the poorest person among the rich is 4,500 person in count. And the uppermost is the 5000%, वो सबसे रिच आदमी है.
हाँ.
Yes, yes.
Then we calculate the income. ये हुआ उसका income 4 लाख रुपया. Similarly, we calculate total income, which is 20 lakh rupees. Very good.
So
the
4
rich-
lakhs is for the rich
Only
का
rich.
total income. Okay.
So share हुआ 19.
हाँ.
Poor का lower count 1 है. यहाँ पे भी same करना पड़ेगा.
Divide by 100.
Divided by 100. So from 1 to 2000 जो है वो 40% poor है. Again we do the same thing. We have the Palmer ratio also. Let's hope for the best now. Yes. So richest 2 तो हमारा Palmer ratio आ गया. This is the richest यहाँ पे कर देता हूँ top percent and bottom percent. So top percent हमने richest 2% लिया and bottom 5% लिया. The Palmer ratio is this. If we increase this to top 10 and bottom 40, it is 1.18. Does it seem difficult, logical? थोड़ा practice से हो जाएगा. How do you feel about this?
एक्चुअली ये पाल्मा रेशियो मैंने मेरे इंटर्नशिप में किया था तो इसके लिए क्लिक हो गया. तो वो पाल्मा रेशियो इसका थोड़ा कंफ्यूजिंग बट द आर में हाउ टू क्रिएट ओन फंक्शन इज अंडरस्टैंडेबल. वो समझ आ.
Okay. Yeah. I will share this function with you. Just go.
Using this logic, like if we take that logic behind, it is like we can write it if we have that logic, but still that takes time to think in that variation. So that is required.
So that is very true actually. So we started. See, this function was a bit more advanced than what I had prepared for it. I had prepared for simple things like hypotenuse का side कैसे निकालने का, where there is a single formula. But in all practical purposes, we do this only. We do this. For example, I had written a function for a retail company. They had really like data at disaggregated level, store level data था वगैरह वगैरह. We had to aggregate it first. But aggregation का जो level था that I should define separately. So उसमें ना 10 पैरामीटर थे. At what level? Do you want it at the district level? Do you want it at a state level or national level? So accordingly, the numbers will be aggregated from store to national. And then there will be a lot of computation and then you will get all the results. So उसमें 4 ज़्यादा parameters होते हैं. Function is very, very flexible. As complicated you want to make it, it will be made. To start with, it is always better to start with a simple one. We started off with a cube and then we looked at Palma, which is like a medium difficult one. But as you start thinking in that sense, no, difficult nahi hota. You practice it and you will see. I'll tell you the reality of the job market. Okay, the reality of the job market is data scientists हैं जो अपना काम कर रहे हैं, and then we are often viewed as an economist. They don't think that we would know these things, right? And I personally have enjoyed this quite a lot. I enjoyed, for example, in PwC specifically, people just did not know how fast computation can happen and whether I am capable of doing it. So in a it was a very demanding kind of a place जहाँ पे हम 15-16 घंटा काम करते थे. I used to finish a lot of this work very fast and then sit on it for a couple of hours and relax and then send it across. Automation इसके लिए important है. You write functions, you write algorithms. एक scraping करके होता है. You can just scrape out information so fast. I mean, you just sit and computer is doing everything. You don't need to do manual copy paste. More faster you get the logic behind coding ना, आप Google करके कर सकते हो. I'm very confident all of us can do it. It's just that we don't imagine that this can be done, and for that we have to. And I look at this particular course. If I am able to convince you guys that okay, any challenge that you will face, you can do it very fast ना. It is a success for me. बाकी तो मतलब क्या ऐसा नहीं है कि टीचिंग आई विल गेट सम मतलब ऐसा कुछ सर्टिफिकेट है, ऐसा नहीं है. यू नो, आई हैव वर्क, वी डिड अ लॉट ऑफ आर, but I learned this kind of R from the people who are data scientists. You know, I understood they do it in a very simple way. We think in a complicated way. So if that is decluttered in this course of time, we are here for a year now. So matlab in this period, if it is decluttered, it will help a lot actually. It will be helpful for you also in terms of the challenges that are there in the job market.
Yes, sir. That is actually the reality, right? These things will only come, as you said, the logic behind us. We have to get it quite quick and then apply it.
Yeah. So we will stop in terms of like additional knowledge. If you have any questions, you can ask me. We have some time. We have 15 minutes. Any questions?
This Palma ratio is new for me. Are there any types of this? Are there any types other than Palma ratio to calculate this percentile or anything?
नहीं, Palma ratio देखो, there are two things. If you see on the screen ना, we are calculating Palma ratio in line 432. तब तक तो Palma ratio आता ही नहीं है ना.
हाँ.
Calculated the quartiles. Quartiles तो हम यूज करते हैं काफी बार. So for example, income, you know, skew and everything, right? We have a symmetric distribution which is equal on the left side and equal on the right side. For example, there is a median income. Okay, median income है suppose 100 रुपया. तो मीडियन इनकम के लेफ्ट में कितने लोग हैं एंड राइट में कितने लोग हैं, दैट विल गिव यू द सिमेट्री ऑफ द डिस्ट्रीब्यूशन. इफ यू फाइंड दैट a lot of people, say 70% of the people are left of median and very few, that is 30% people, are on the right of the median, that means your income distribution is skewed. There are very less rich people than poor people. There are a lot of poor people, there are very less rich people. So accordingly the skew in the distribution is found. And इसीलिए तो quartile हम देखते हैं कि 90th quartile कितना, 10th quartile कितना, etc.
Okay. So why Palma ratio is calculated here? So what is the logic behind of calculating Palma ratio?
There are two answers to this. If you want to know why Palma ratio would be important, Palma ratio would be important in terms of understanding what is the inequality in the country. Income inequality, consumption inequality, access inequality, etc. Why did we do it today? Just because we wanted some exercise. We are practicing functions. तो functions में चलो आप बताओ कौन सा आपके पास formula होगा तो बताओ. In that we said that okay, Palma ratio is one formula. Let's try that out. Let's try to find out how to calculate it. Tomorrow you can calculate mean ना, simple से start कर सकते हैं. Write a function to calculate mean. Right? So you can do that.
Yes.
Any other question?
No, sir. I guess not for today at least.
Okay. So overall, since this is the first lecture, do you have any suggestions? Because see, I have more or less, visiting lectures I have taken, like one-off lectures. So this is going to be more on the, there will be an assignment at the end of it, exam at the end of it. So if there is anything specific that you would expect in terms of, a paper or so, you can tell me so that I can accordingly prepare.
We are also in a bit like how you will take exam. Yeah, what are the kinds of assignments? So we also new to this, so we don't know.
This is
what
also
was
first year. No, yeah, that's true. So I will. So on the exam point of view, I will also discuss with the professors ki what is the overall expectation. To me personally, for again, exam is another thing. For me, I told you my success metric is basically that you are able to think logically about how to solve the problem in front of you, and not whether you know 500 functions by heart or 600 functions by heart. So that's why it becomes a bit of a challenge कि वो कैसे administer होगा exam. So I will definitely convey to you as soon as I get clarity on that. From the preparation point of view, is there anything, for example, regression थियरी किया है लेकिन समझ में नहीं आया, आई हैव सम फ्लेक्सिबिलिटी ऑन दैट. सो इफ यू हैव एनी टॉपिक दैट यू वांट टू डू प्रैक्टिकली, सी हाउ इट लुक्स, ग्राफ बना के देखना है, सो वी कैन कवर दैट इन आवर टॉपिक्स.
Yes, regression will be much more helpful.
वो रिग्रेशन तो एक टॉपिक है. लाइक रिग्रेशन में भी देयर इज लीनियर रिग्रेशन, टाइम सीरीज है, यू नो, टाइम सीरीज में आरिमा है, वार है, दिस अ लॉट. Is there anything specific that you have learned? You can tell me. Other people, like Drashti is talking, any other person wants to suggest?
सर CSV फाइल को इंपोर्ट करना.
हाँ कर लेंगे, CSV फाइल कर लेंगे, नो प्रॉब्लम. वो we'll do in the next class only actually. See, ये import वगैरह next class में हो ही जाएगा.
Sir, analysis of like a data set and conclusions, like that part of.
Okay, so we will do that. We will take the इसको data frame बोलते हैं. We will import data frames from CSV file and we will do basic analysis. We'll do all the summary statistics. We will try to find out what is an outlier. We'll try to detect it with missing values. ये सब हम करते हैं, ठीक है? Okay.
Sure. Okay.
Excellent. Anything else?
Sir, anything else like you would like to would like to teach a perspective of that logic wala thing in near future?
Yeah, so from that perspective, I would urge you to do functions and conditional statement, that is if else and loops. So that is something I would urge because that is important from programming point of view. तो वो हम करेंगे, for loop specifically, and if else statements. Today we saw एक झलक देखा था ना, if else statement I had just written. ये बहुत ही simple होता है, कुछ डिफिकल्टी नहीं है उसमें. We can add those things.
Sir, statistics tools like standard deviation, variance, covariance, correlation.
Perfect. आज भी किया.
That whole standard deviation, the part you gave, na, mean,
Yes.
median, mode.
So today we did functions. Now next time when we look at the databases, we will go towards that. Perfect. I think more or less was part of what I had drafted in my sense also. In the future also you can tell me if there is any specific thing you want to add. I can totally do that. बाकी तो ठीक है, तुम लोग कर लोगे, ऐसा कोई बात नहीं है. ऐसा नहीं कि ये इससे you will learn much more. You will go to your company and say कि इसने कुछ नहीं पढ़ाया. That is good. You will learn a lot outside. ऐसा whatever I know I will teach. You will learn a lot new things also. So there's no issue. You don't need to take pressure कि आपको कितना आता है, limited आता है, ज़्यादा आता है, etc. All right.
Sir, you will be sharing this R script with us, right?
Okay, I'll share it. Give me one email ID. I will share on that email ID and they can share it across to the class. What do you think?
That is fine.
That is fine. तो ऐसा कोई होगा?
Even
We have a common
we have a common group
Google
for
group.
like email.
So if you
Google
email to
group.
that email address, so each one of us will
Perfect.
receive it.
ठीक है. Give it to me. I will do that. हाँ बताओ. What is
1
it?
second. Sir.
Just a sec. It is MSEPP
MSEPP
underscore 2325 @googlegroups.com.
Sir, 2325.
25. कोई बीच में अंडरस्कोर वगैरह नहीं है ना?
नहीं, इतना ही है. MSEPP underscore 2325 @googlegroups.com.
This is correct. Okay, I'll send this to you.
Okay, sir.
Try make changes to the numbers वगैरह. कुछ लगे डाउट लगे तो बताओ. We can do it. I have also referred to a book. I mean not the book itself, but the codes that are used in the book. So there is a book called as Learn R in a Day, and I've added a few other things in that. So I've also referred to this, but this is pretty much what is there in the book as well. I mean, there's nothing that I've removed per se. I have just changed a few things based on the requirements of our purpose. That's it. All right. So let's meet next to next week, Saturday. Hopefully in class. Otherwise online. Online worked fine. I mean, I'm okay now. So we can do that. ठीक है, चलो.
Thank you, sir.
Yes, sir.
Yeah, thank you.
Thank you, sir. Bye bye.
Thank you, sir.
Bye. Thank you, Gaurav.